finding understanding anywhere. We're lost in a masquerade. Both afraid to say we're just too far away from being close together from the start. We tried to talk it over, but the words got in the way. We're lost inside this lonely game we play. Hearts are beating, disappear every time I see your eyes. No matter how hard I try. Understand the reasons that we carry on this way. Lost in a man. I picked the shorter version. I probably should have picked the longer version, but peace, people. I was on Kiki Loves Nigeria, but she seemed to be on a roll. Looked like she wanted to be up there by herself. So here I am doing my own damn live. I want to stay focused on what it is that I've come to do, which is expose Afridamus. Like I've been saying, there is a lot of emphasis and targeting, gaslighting, and purposely trying to rip us out to dry with no money by different African scammers, different Pan-African scammers, different scammers, even American scammers that call themselves Pan-African are also included in that bunch. Where do I start? When I first saw Afridamus, I thought that he was halfway decent, only because at the time he was not into trying to get money from us. He was on a show called African Fang Tribe. Yeah, African Fang Tribe, whereby he did an interview and he expressed the fact, like she had, that Black Americans could never be received as being African, and that we will always be separated, especially with the people, the locals on the ground in Africa, because they're all tribalistic. That's how they roll. And I appreciated that at the time, but mind you, he just was starting out with his YouTube page. Mind you, he didn't get the bug for clout chasing yet. And then he didn't get the validation that he gets from certain men that, you know, kiss up to him for him to do the type of bashing and gaslighting he does to Black Americans. So he came out the gate more honest than he is now. Now, suddenly, he makes his way back to his home country. He comes back with a fantastical story about what happened to him these last 3 months. And I want to play that video about what he was talking on, because I haven't even seen the video. I watched like maybe 5 minutes of it. I was in the middle of watching another video, so I took a mental note that he was back, but I didn't understand that he had set in line the premise of what he's trying to do now, which is soften us up, butter us up for him to be able to also scam on us. What is it about Black Americans that people find so easy for them to pickpocket us? It's the fact that we're looking for validation. The more that you look for validation, the more problems you're going to have within yourself within your self-worth, within in self-love, you'll let people run all over you. You'll let people talk crazy to you. You'll let people do anything to you because you want to be received and accepted. What I say is the best way to love yourself is acceptance of self, no matter what, whoever, whatever it is. That way, when someone comes along and challenges your self-worth, you'll have something within you that can sustain you from them being able to manipulate you and make you feel like you need to do something to be approved by them. There are a lot of people that want to be approved by somebody. For what reason, I don't get it. I'm glad I don't have that issue. Either you like me, love me, but leave me alone if you don't like me. That's all I ask. If you're going to be in my area around me, I'm going to be respectable, and I expect to be respected. And if these things don't happen, then I can't coexist with people. So that is what I pretty much go by. But there are a lot of people out here in the Pan-African spaces that don't live like that. They go off of the fumes of what other people are telling them that they need to be going after, trying to reach this new Africanness through DNA testing and all these other things that make you feel like you need to try to connect to something. And you have scamming Africans come along and see you wounded. They see that you're troubled. They see that you're stumbling. They see that you're tripping over yourself. And they come along and they say a few kind words to you to build you up. And then they scam you. They got you. And this is where Afridamus is going. Afridamus clearly does not like Black Americans, especially Black American women. He said before he used to deal with a Black American woman, but they're not together no more. So that leads me to believe that this Black American woman would not allow him to reign supreme over her like he thinks as an African typically do, especially from the Western part of Africa. They typically want to have an ironclad ownership or reignship over women. And I believe that his former girlfriend or whatever she was to him, wife, I don't know, didn't take his bullshit and would not settle for him trying to just order her around. And so they clashed and they broke up. It was an ugly breakup. And ever since then, he has a bad taste in his mouth about Black American women. He's always referring to us as being ratchet, calling us Bonisha, Keisha, some made up name. He just makes up names. He's calling Black Americans the Blacks. He mocks us continuously previous to him coming back. Now he's trying to tone it down. But previous to all of this, when he first started his YouTube and he started seeing how lucrative it was to go up against Black Americans, he did not bat an eye. He went for the gusto. He opened his platform for anybody, including white people, to come against Black Americans continuously, consistently, for hours and hours and hours. And people were giving him donations just because it was a mock fest. What's up, Pinky? Said he couldn't find a Black American woman to get his green card. She gave him the boot. I think he already was an American because he's been here since, I think he said like 17 or 18 years, something really, really kind of a long time. So I think that he more than likely had his green card, but he thought that because he's the man, he's an African, he's from a tribe, that makes him superior, and that she needed to listen to every little tittle what he had to say, and she wasn't going for none of it. She was like, fuck you and your tribe, motherfucker. So anyways, what I want to do now is review Afridamus' video of him returning from the Gambia. I have not seen it. I know that I heard on another video after that, he was talking about he had some issues on the ground in the Gambia and people were treating him as if he was a Black American. Hogwash. he prides himself in having the culture, knowing the language, and now suddenly he forgot about it all? I don't think so. Good morning to you, Pinky, by the way, and everybody watching in the clouds. If you have not yet, please do me a favor by liking the video. I would greatly appreciate it. Now I'm going to go back a little bit on this video, not watch the whole entire thing, but I want to get the gist of this video so that you guys can see what a hustler, a scammer, how they try to manipulate by using stories, how they try to manipulate by trying to attach themselves to us as a group of people. He's trying to align himself to us so that he can have easier access to our monies by trying to make it seem like, well, we're not really different after all. I'm just like you. I had the same problems as you. So let's just be brothers. Let's be friends type of thing. So fair use of video for educational purposes, for reality checks realized and lies denied. This is, again, for observational, research, and educational purposes. This is about this man, Afridamus, who does not care anything about Black Americans, suddenly got the scam bug to try to make us feel like he is one of us so that he can get closer to our money. And that's a no-no.
When you hit the ground, I can't recall the time and place.
I don't like that song. Hold on. That song is so corny.
Be in the studio giving you guys the report about situations all the way in Africa. And when I say Africa over here, I'm going to dissect it and we're going to come straight to by country. And it's not going to be about, who is the best of this, who is good at that. Today, I'm going to focus on my own experience living Black in Gambia. That's right. You guys heard me. I was Black over there. Despite sometimes speaking the language, I was still seen.
Again, this is the lie out the gate. He wants so much to make it seem like he is just like us. There is no difference. Let's do business. Let's do this. Let's do that. I don't think for one second that anyone ever thought that he was not a Gambian. He has an accent. He looks like a Gambian. He carries himself as if he is not us. And there's nothing about him that reminds me of a Black American at all, other than some of the clothes that he wears. But even when he wears clothes, they don't even look like what we would wear. So nothing that he does resembles anything that we do. So for him now to say, I was looked at as being Black as well. I suffer just like you guys be suffering. I'm on y'all side now.
As Black. And I'm going to, walk you guys straight into my world of living Black in the Gambia. There is a great advantage to being Black in the Gambia. Because you see the undercover work that the Blacks needed. I went to the Gambia and I did the work. Guys, this is what this school is all about. Today you are going to receive valuable information that you can use to your advantage instead of just being naive. If you remember a few months ago, I did a show right here where I was analyzing this video. The lady, she's Nigerian. She was here in the States. She worked for 40 years. 40. So she worked hard, used her credit card, because, over here in the United States, people work hard. And she kept sending money to Nigeria. She wanted to build her dream world. She wanted to build, nice big house. A lot of you that are watching me, whether you're from an African country or not, or now, most Black people have caught the African bug, which I support. Because going there for a whole quarter to learn.
Yeah, he supports because it benefits him and his kind. With us giving up money is like him eating out like Pac-Man, you know, the old Atari Pac-Man that used to eat up everything in sight. That's what we're doing. We're fueling other people's hopes and dreams with our money, but we're lessening our chances to have a dream for our own and our survival. Like I said, little by little, we're starting to become bankrupt. We're being squeezed out here in America on purpose by migration and illegal alien situations going on right now as we speak. And then we have the people that's in Africa that are desperate, or people that are in the diaspora that are truly the diasporans because they are actually from Africa, like an Afridamus, who knows both sides of the fence of living in America and also living in Africa. So he is best suited to try to manipulate us most of all, because he's been around us. He knows our lingo. He knows our habits. He knows we're emotional. And he plays into what it is that he has learned about us. And that's why he is coming up with this show about his similarities that he is claiming that he had in the Gambia. That's like setting the stage to start a narrative of lies about we are all one. We're all in this together. But he wasn't saying this a year, 2 years ago. He was anti-Pan-African. He was critical of Pan-Africanism, just like I am. What changed? The only thing that changed is that he recognizes that he could get into the running to get as much money as possible also from us, because a lot of men I've noticed go to his platform, they act like they want to suck him off. It is ridiculous how they have put him on a pedestal when he is bashing Black Americans. And these same Black Americans want to befriend this clown, want to hear him talk shit and then join him on the on the platform and laugh at his stupid ass, lame ass jokes. That's how I know that there are potential people that are scammable, because they're already look like they're ripe for the picking. And I suspect that Afridamus has sensed that there are people that admire him one little bit too much for him to ignore, and that he indeed intends to collect and gain as much money as he can from people that revere him and have forcefully put him on a pedestal that he does not belong on. He has not earned, and he should not even be there. Let's go.
To learn what it takes to live there, what is needed, what services do you need, what is legal, what is not legal, what tactics do these scamming stories that you hear, how do they utilize this?
He already said, Pinky, that he was going to tell people how, if they never traveled before, how to get to him so that he could be the go-in-between person to direct him on where to go if they want to go to an Airbnb, if they want to go to a hotel, if they want to get a consultation. There are all kinds of things lying in wait. I figure that he's going to probably out the gate ask for a consultation amount for them to be able to access his so-called service. And then he's going to try to entice them with different investments. He's talking about he wants to have them open up an account for them to then be able to access this account through investment with him. Again, you're depositing money in this so-called account whereby he has access to your money, and you don't have access back to that money because you're so-called waiting for an investment or waiting for an advantage to come from the money that you spent, which more times than not, it's never, ever coming. There's all kinds of stuff that can happen that has nothing to do with even scamming, but there your money is gone. And even if he didn't want to scam, things could come up to where he doesn't have the money for this reason or another because he done spent the money. And again, you invested the money. You trusted that money to be in his possession. We're giving up the trust before we have any vetting or idea what a person is capable of doing. All we know is that we've seen this movie play before. We've seen the same movie scene play many times before, and it never ends well. It always ends up with somebody else running away with the money. And when we try to like tell our fellow Black Americans, like, look, you know, I hate to be the bearer of bad news, but you're too emotional. You're too easily tickled to death. You're easily excitable. You know, you are looking for somebody to give you a big ass bear hug or something. And, you know, that desire, people see it and they capitalize on it, especially if you're crying and carrying on because you went to the dungeon and you're like, oh, my people, they were there and I'm so lost without my people. I don't know who I am. Oh my God, I need to get with an African so I can find myself. Oh no. When you're like that, they know you're good for the right picking. And this is the African scam. They can read it. They can taste it. They can smell that you are vulnerable. He can tell that there are a lot of people that don't think very critical, and they look at him at face value and they assert to him that he is an alpha male. They assert to him that he must be honest because he's being seen on YouTube. They give all these benefit of the doubts, but we don't know Afridamus like that. All we can go off of is what he's done in times past. And what he's done in times past is disrespect Black Americans consistently. This man does not care about what happens to us. In fact, he celebrates when something bad happens to us, and he says that they're going to be the new Black. That they are, you know, I want to play. No, let me go to this. Let me play some more of this. I'm going to look for this other video. Let's go.
The corruption, the bribery, and I'm going to give you the answers on how to respond to it. I mean, it's up to you. It's up to you. So this woman I was talking about.
I didn't catch your other ones.
Building,
you said,
you know,
you said he doesn't know all that F us, just the weakest. Just the weakest. All that. I don't know. Fuss, just the weakest. Hey, what's up, Miss D? Thank you for coming through. I really appreciate you as well. Pinky Wells says those Black American men can't get Black women like he couldn't. Those are the ones he will sell tours to. Yeah, he's going to get those vulnerable women with a little bit of money that they've saved up that they should be saving for a rainy day. They may have 1 or 2 kids and their baby daddy is acting a fool. And they're going to look to Afridamus as somebody that they want to like try to like go see about. And what I'm trying to tell these women, don't thirst for this type of man right here, because all he's going to do is drip dry you dry and send you home on your way with nothing else for yourself, for your kids, for nothing. It's going to be a cold, cold time in hell for, I hope, a woman that is a Black American to spend a dime on Afridamus. He said, I hope he gets all those men on his panel. Exactly, Pinky. That's what I said. Like, you got all those Africans, 8 to 10 at a time, talking. Why can't you influence them to go do what you claim you want done? Why are you skipping them and coming to bother us? For what? We don't deserve this much attention. But again, it's about our dollar. It's about the fact that we have so many vulnerabilities and people can sense it. That's why they play a lot of slave movies. And they play all these different types of movies that bring us into the mindset of a slave. You know, they know what triggers us and how to make us emotionally vulnerable. And I've been working on disallowing myself to be like that myself personally, like Instead of getting mad, I just cut off or get even. I don't need to dwell on things as much as like I used to. I used to dwell on things so much to where it made me sick. But I had to learn. You just have to deal with the issue, either correct it if you can, or reject it. A lot of us haven't got to that though. We want to try to make peace with everything and everybody, and we want everybody to like us. And because of that bug of wanting to get some appeasement from people, people take advantage of us, and they're going to continually line us up. You said Black Americans, most of us don't have any African ancestors. We have Native Indians. They too was dark like Wesley Snipes. They don't want to give us that though, Pinky. They want us to believe that everybody came from African boats and only Africans were having sex in the jungle somewhere with one another, bearing slave kids throughout America, and that's no mixing of any other races ever happened. It's like ridiculous. 500 years, you have a high chance of having sex with various races of people, which is what happened with us. That's why we're truly our own, and we need to accept that we are truly unique and we're our own, so that people won't come and make us feel like we are nobody, and we accept that type of sentiment that we're nothing and nobody. We don't have no culture. We don't have no tribe. We don't have no language. We don't have no true cuisine. All these things of trying to paint a picture that we're inadequate. And for whatever reason, a lot of Black Americans will vibe with that message, and they will say, yes, you're right. I don't have no culture. I don't have a name. I don't have a language. I don't know my relatives. I don't know nothing about Africa. I'm so lost. And they're like, there. Let me tap you on the shoulder. There. I got something for you. Let's sit down over here in the corner real quick. Like, do you need a drink of some water or something? And then they will begin to talk to you and try to make you feel better. But all the while they're thinking and pacing around in their mind about how they can get you to invest or give up money towards their time of spending with you. Like a dummy, you pay for it. These interactions that people are wanting to connect Africans with, you're paying for that. It's not a simple walk in the park and you just happen to run into somebody from Zimbabwe or South Africa or any other country of Africa, and you're having a casual conversation and nobody wants nothing other than the conversation. Those are not the type of relationships that Africans are trying to foster with us. I'm not saying all Africans are wanting to be predatory like, but the ones that are claiming to be Pan-African are. The ones that lean towards Pan-Africanism is. And the ones that are West Africans that rely on you to believe in Pan-Africanism, they definitely wish for you to continue this hoax of a lie in your mind that Pan-Africanism is legit, that is reasonable, and that is possible, so that you can put all your ducks in the bucket and you can believe in a sad, pathetic story such as, Pan-Africanism is reality, which is not. And again, they set their sights on trying to maneuver you out of your money towards their goal and not you to have any longer. That's what it is. You're giving up something for them to gain, and you're less and less and less having. And this is going to continue. This is why it's best to get ahead of this, because he is just starting out right now trying to lure people into his web of thinking that he has our better intention. But he really doesn't. He has his own intention. He has his own performance art that he's doing right here, acting as if he really gives a flying fuck about anybody other than himself.
I'll put that in quotes. Building in Nigeria, which many people in the diaspora, Africans especially in the diaspora, there is many in this same situation. Many. So this is why I had to go there for all these months to live amongst the people, to collect nothing but data while living as a black.
Isn't that funny? He is from the Gambia. His family is in the Gambia, and he's saying that he had to go to the Gambia, go incognito, blend in with those people of the Gambia, and go collect information. Do y'all believe the words that's coming out of his mouth? Because this is performance 101. Of course, the people knows who he is. He claimed to be a big shot there in the Gambia. He claims that his family is a big shot in the Gambia. Alongside of that, he claimed that his bloodline is affiliated with slave trade. Well, not slave trade, but having slaves. He put it like, we caught slaves, but we didn't sell them. We kept them. We kept our slaves. So we're not as bad as other people. That's the way he put it. And by the way, I'm looking for this video from Kanzaran Empire that really breaks down what Afridamus is really on. He got really, really drunk, and he came onto the platform, and he declared that at any time that he wanted to dominate Black Americans, he could. And this is why I'm trying to come to y'all in advance, tell you what Afridamus is on, so that you don't be a prey to him, and not only that, but enrich his ass while you don't have much to show for. I hate the fact that people intend for us to enrich them while we're without anything to show for. And that is the continuous life situation or relationship that they desire for us to have with them. And that is not a win-win. That is them winning and you're losing. So you said he's going to get the Black men, very few women. Yeah, he's going to get the dingbats like what's his name? American First Rifleman, like men like that, like they're incels, they're partly passport bros. They can't get women really in America like that. They're going to be sold the dream that you can have 4 wives in the Gambia if you become a Muslim. They're going to love hearing that. And so these fantasies about their dingling, tingling all the time is going to cause them to want to go and see about Afridamus. So they will be the prime people that he is going to unfortunately get. You said most Black Americans don't know American history. No, they don't. And it's unfortunate that they don't, Pinky. You're so right about that. Black Americans paying to get abused. That's exactly what it is. It's torture. You're paying to watch the dungeons. You're paying to fly to get there, all those hours. Then you got to pay for every scam that comes about, the increase of product that you buy because you're a foreigner. Everything is you paying out of pocket just to be in their presence. What is the benefit of that where they're just wringing you dry? I don't get it. So when people say that this is what you need to do to get connected to Africa and Africans, I'm like, hell no. If I can't connect to any in America, I don't need to connect to any. There's more than enough that have come to America, and I'm sure if it's meant to be, we will meet. But let's get back to this.
American in the Gambia is the most amazing and beautiful experience. You guys will not even begin to imagine the things I went through being Black in the Gambia. Please make sure you hit the like if you haven't already done so. And please take out your pen and pad, because whether you're from Nigeria, whether you're from Detroit, whether you're from, Ghana, anywhere, wherever, please take your pen and pad, because I am going to walk you into a world that you yourself, you're going to refuse that that world exists. I'm talking psychological warfare. The psychological warfare that's been waged against you living in the West. How you are being emotionally blackmailed, manipulated into being other people's slave. So, please, get your pen and pad and listen carefully and start taking notes. And, this is not about you becoming jaded, but it would help you see how the people really think. How are you seen? I'm sure most of you are going to be in denial about what you're going to hear. But these are going to be facts. Ignore them at your own peril. I had to go through this. I'm talking first-hand experience. And I'm going to take you all the way from the beginning up to where we are right now. The things I went through. The things that people, they come here, like they talk about the blackity black stuff, the Pan-Africanism thing. Oh, we're going to go to Gambia or these places to save the people. By the end of today's broadcast, you would get your answer. If you are supposed to be in the business of saving yourself, being realistic with yourself, and truly fighting for your future, or you're just going to let people walk all over you, people that are not even that sophisticated, but they're just going to use some type of, manipulation that through your consent, you end up becoming a victim to it. Just like the woman in Nigeria. She was sending money to her brother, supposed to be building a structure. I showed the video here. When she got there, she fell on the ground. And this is what is going to be the story for many, because of what I have uncovered, what I have seen. Today, this broadcast would make you rethink everything. It would make you rethink everything. So, let's go to the beginning. So, you guys know, right? We were talking, people talk about, the real estate business in Gambia. You guys remember Juliet and others, they were selling land. So, yes, land now have become gold over there in the Gambia. Why is it gold? There is rapid development that is taking place in that small country. You see? So, people need tangible, I'm talking tangible asset. That's what they need. So now every little Joe Blow is into selling lands. That's what they are into. So some people have come on the internet, they have convinced many of you because, you have the desire and you talked yourself into trusting what they are telling you. I'm starting with the internet people. Because see, the internet people have access to the internet. They can talk to you. They know your language. You see? They can talk to you. So
I don't know why he's taking forever to get to the part where he's supposed to tell us the story, what the fuck happened. But I'm going to fast forward a little bit to see if he's going to start, because I guess he's trying to get his lies together. He's trying to wait for enough time to make it feel like it's real and it came from him authentically. I don't believe nothing he says and what he's talking about happened to him in Gambia at all.
Every story that I've been delivering here, you would have think by now somebody would have figured this out and start letting people know, no. Just having that one paper, that alcalo paper, is not good enough. the GRA paper, which is the capital gains tax paperwork. You are not supposed to pay that. Here's how you do it, just like I did. Give them 3/4, say, you want all those documents. They are supposed to do the job. And of course, naturally, the Gambians, they're going to come back and try to...
It's as if he got together with all his Gambian tribe and he said, hey, I've been on YouTube for a while. I got a significant amount of Americans watching. And it seems as if they got with him and said, hey, you should flip it and hustle these Americans. Because, hey, they've been going to the Gambia, they've been going to Ghana, they so why not, come back to Gambia through you? Why not? So, this is the beginnings of the making of the scammer Afridamus. He hasn't actually gotten people yet to sign on, but he most certainly made it apparently clear that that's what he intends to do with offering these investments and these proposals that he's directly directing to Black Americans for the most part. He says the diaspora because he's trying to act like a Pan-African, but he's not. But what he really means is that you Black Americans, the ones that are needy, the ones that are clingy, the ones that need my validation and approval, the ones that laugh at my dumbass jokes, I want your money, I want your investment. I'll give you a lame ass account and I'll enrich myself and my family and my ranch and my tribe while you guys are still scrambling around like roaches with the light turned on. This is the sentiment of many scammers, okay? And just because I'm speaking before he does so, why wait until he does so? I did the same thing with Lou Major, folks. Lou Major was a Haitian American. He went on Dynasty Mir's platform abundantly. And the same thing, like Afridamus, he used to bash Black Americans about us being lazy, us wanting handouts, us not wanting to work, us not wanting to be interested in Africa. All these accusations were hurled at us about our identity and all these things. And eventually, Lou Major just out the blue suggested people buy land from Taiwo. And don't you know that day, people were on the hook to buy the land. And then he progressed from there to make up a fictitious bank that these people that invested with land could now put their money into this fictitious bank. And don't you know, Lou Major ran off into the sunset, but I, who has a discerning spirit, was warning my people for 4 or 5 months prior to Lou Major doing what he did. I called him a con artist, and that's exactly what he ended up being. Nobody listened. Everybody said I was crazy. Everybody was saying I was unhinged. All these things, but then about $2 million was stolen. That's right. First it was believed it was 500,000, but then I was told it was way more than that. It was closer to 2 million. So $2 million, this one man devised a plan and he maximized his potential through most were Black Americans. There were some that were Jamaicans, I believe, but the most abundant amount of people that were investing, believing in Lou Major was Black Americans. So everybody's been sitting back talking about these scams. Everybody's been sitting back understanding that Pan-Africanism is like the gateway to scam. I've been talking about it for years now. I've been really talking about it for like 3 strong years about these particular scams that I've noticed myself, if not longer, maybe 4. And it seems that even if you're not even Pan-African, like this guy right here, Afridamus, you can say the word Pan-African. You can say the word diaspora, and you're in like Jen. You just have a script and you read it off.
Sweet talk you. They're going to try to tell you how busy they are. Smile, but deep down you know. You do not give a damn about how busy they are. You don't care. That sounds like a personal problem. This is the attitude you must have. Just like they smile at you, you smile right back. But stand on those principles, because it would be foolish of you to hand over all your money and not make sure you got all your ducks in a row. This is why all those people that you were seeing coming up here crying, this is the process they went through. And of course, somebody will be like, oh, how come they didn't know? Well, it's a place where they keep you in the dark on purpose. On purpose. Acquiring land is...
And that's all they continue to do. They keep you in the dark. We don't know who's the true owner of the land. You might have one particular family member that's not so happy that the land was sold and want to take you to court over that land, over the family name. There's so many different ways in which it could all go south. But one thing's for certain, your money has been spent. And that's the part that you can never, ever correct. And that's what they're expecting you to continue to want to do, with hyping up this notion of land and freedom and mango trees and your people and getting away from America and all these things. But it's a sacrifice. And a lot of people sacrifice their all for this change. And a lot of them have lost to homelessness, to illness, to death, through financial ruin. And it doesn't take much for you to buy land and then start building, which costs an awful lot of money. The builders can change the prices on you. They can make up stuff as they go to frustrate you. Here, for example, Sister International was talking about the situation with homelessness. I didn't even know that this was an issue in the Gambia, but apparently it's been an issue for a while. Check this out.
Subscribe to the channel to watch our videos and shorts. We're going to do a video, and that video we're going to do is, we've had lots of sisters contact us, and it's just sad really, because they've contacted us to say that they are in dire straits. They're homeless and they are running out of money. Now, sisters come to the Gambia with great expectation and plans, and these plans are not working out the way they hoped. Some of them have lost a lot of money through different means, and we'll talk about that in the video. And it's a problem, not just from the UK, but from the States, United States as well. There are real problems in the Gambia with diasporans.
And again, those stories weren't told in the beginning because people were trying to get as many people as they could to follow in on the movement and take risks alongside of others that were willing to take the risk. So they didn't want to forecast different things that were going on wrong. So they kept it kind of hush for a long time until it became a prevalent problem. Then they started talking about it. But this Afridamus, he don't want you to think about what ifs. He doesn't want you to think about anything pertaining to you backing out of, if you had an idea to go to Africa, maybe you changed your mind. And he's trying to convince you not to change your mind because, again, he wants access to you and your money for different things that he's going to try to make up for you when you take your ass to the Gambia. And this is why I have to call him out, because he is not our friend. He is our foe. He's always let it be known how he does not give a flying fuck about us. And now suddenly he gives a flying fuck about us. I'm a fast forward this a little bit longer because I don't know why it's taking forever to tell this story, but this is like a good for nothing video.
He's supposed to be giving me a report on my project, but no, everything he's talking about is about him, what concerns him. Like this guy would ask me for extravagant things. Like this guy would ask me to send him a car, like open him a business and all. So I'm like, wait, what? I'm like, man, what the hell is going on? Like I'm all confused. I'm like, I employed this guy to run my stuff for me. Now this guy is asking me for all these things, and this is not free. So I was like, wait a minute. Let me, so I'm all suspicious. So I'm taking it slow, like I'm delaying stuff. So the best investment that I did my place is a farm. So farm requires work. So it would be hard to get somebody to get, lots large cash out of them. So now I'm listening to this person. I'm gathering information. Most of you do not know how to gather information.
And he talks to people as if they're dumb, as if they're childlike. This is what I'm talking about. He's trying to make it seem like you're not good enough. You're not adequate enough. You can't figure stuff out on your own. You don't have discernment. You don't know enough. Well, if you listen to people like me, you're going to know a lot more, because I find the stories that confirm what my greatest fear is, which is you're asked out with your monies, trusting and believing in this Pan-African fable. But people like Afridamus, they capitalize off of you having a fable, having a belief. They can manipulate you much better. And this is why he wants you to keep you in the land of stupidity and make you feel like you need him to help you. And while he's helping you, he's helping himself to your money.
I'm gathering information. So I'm hearing things. I'm like, this is crazy. I'm at the mercy of this guy. So mind you, this guy at the time had documents of my land. He had the documents. So I had to keeping him on the, on the phone. I was not talking about this stuff on YouTube because the guy watches my channel. So I could not give this information out. So I had to be tight-lipped.
So this guy that he had to be tight-lipped for, don't you think that he's watching the videos now and he could sabotage while he's back in America? Again, think about it. He's saying whatever he has to say to make you believe that he's on our side and that he went and did all these different changes so that he could gather information for us to understand. Oh, you thought about us, Afridamus. Oh, I'm such a believer of you because you said so. Again, this is nothing more than a storyline that he probably got from a movie script. Probably watched a movie similar to what he's telling the story about. But it ain't real. Everybody knows who the fuck he is. He talked about how big of a man he is in the Gambia. Now all of a sudden nobody knows who the fuck he is. This is crazy.
To just pretend like this did not exist. I had to pretend like everything is good. But I'm also, doing my thing. So what I did was, the other guy that became the manager, he's my relative. I sent him to the farm to go see what's happening. But prior to sending him, I have bought some livestock. So I'm into farming, mixed farming. So I bought those Senegalese sheep. They call them the ladons.
I was wondering why his phone was frozen.
I think I'm frozen here. Let me see.
You frozen because you were lying. Let's see.
All right. Sorry about that, guys. Can you guys hear me? Can you guys hear me? All right. Sorry about that. All right. Let's see. Let me read some of these comments before I proceed. DG, thank you for the super chat. He said, welcome back, Afridamus. We missed you. I missed you guys too. Guys, please don't forget to hit the likes and the super chat. Astro said, you sound paranoid. No, I promise you, I am not paranoid. I'm telling you real stories here.
He sounds like he's making it up as he goes, and he sounds like he's trying to tell a story that's not really the truth. And so he's on edge to make sure he says the story right, because it's not coming from him from the heart. It is orchestrated.
The guy loses mind. Nah, I am not losing my mind. Afridamus, stay away from weed. It makes you paranoid. You try being in the Gambia. No, I promise you. Zongo said, Afridamus, it seems those dusty Africans treated you like a privileged American and not a true Gambian citizen. You are not different from the FBA. I mean, something like that. Sorry about that, guys. So, guys, where was I? So, literally, at this point, the guy, he is telling other people that, this is his own project. And I've heard stories like this. This is, even white people, this has happened to them where they get baited into, to say, partnership business in the Gambia, right? And guys, I'm just going to lay it out. This is ruthless. Like, the guy would act weak, but then they move in, and it's sad what would happen to you. Guys, make sure you get the likes up. And please put a 1, let me know you guys can hear me. So now, like I said, I discovered the guy. So when I returned, right, this time around, I encountered something similar. But mind you, previously, that was my first time experiencing that, but I did not know. But I was lucky, I stood my ground because I sent another individual who was my relative to go check things out for me, because he was taking care of my livestock. I have some sheep and goats. And the sheep, these are the high-priced sheep. The Senegalese sheep, they call them ladums. One, like, literally, it's $1,000, like the baby one, to buy one. So we're talking about, I have spent thousands of dollars on these animals, and I bought, like, goats. These are just not any other goats. These are like exotic goats, the big tall ones. So I'm like, all right, this guy, he is into these animals and I'm into it. So why not? I'm thinking I'm putting him on. You see, this is where, but either way, I need him to go confirm my suspicions for me. So I send him to the farm, because at the time it was time to harvest the groundnuts, the peanuts, which I was growing, because it's a self-sustaining farm. This farm is going to be feeding the animals. I would no longer be buying animal feed for them, the livestock feed, because I have vast land. I can just grow my own feed. This is the whole plan. So, hold on, let me thank some of you here for these super chats. Let's see. John Izola, thank you for the super chat here. Thank you. Let's see. Astros, thank you for the super chat as well. So yeah. At this point, I am fully invested. Mimi, don't worry. I'm gonna get to that part. I'm gonna get to that part. So, guys, you are over here. I mean, myself, I'm over here. I'm working hard. You know, I'm like, okay, I'm taking care of business. You know, this is investment, and I'm paying these people. So, in reality, the word that I was being given is not real. So I had to think fast and smart. So this other guy who was in charge, he created a disconnect. I was not able to talk to the actual guy that performed the work on the land. In fact, he concocted a story. He fired that guy and told me the guy quit. Right? This was in the middle of the season, and I'm like, man, things are getting crazy. But you see, if things don't make sense to you, you should always follow what you're thinking. So the guy, this was supposed to be about dispute over money. And he said he offered the guy certain amount. He's saying the guy refused that. But now I ended up having to pay like 10 times the amount of that. So all along I was willing to pay, but like I said, you've been put in the dark. In the dark. So you fail in your endeavors. They were like, oh, okay, now let's do this. So when I sent the guy there, my intention now, I know for a fact, I don't trust none of these guys. But since they are both hungry hyenas, now this new hyena has an interest in giving me the real information that would help me get rid of this guy. And now that I would put him in charge, so that would buy me time to figure out what is happening. So just as I thought, the guy went. Boom, uncovered things. Now I'm able to buy time. I fired this guy, put this guy in charge.
I don't even believe the story, Pinky Wells. I just think that he got together with his tribe. What can we say to, since you have been talking hella shit to Black Americans for over a year or two, what can you say to make them forget about all the shit you've been saying? Well, you have to come out with some fantastical story that connects him to us. Oh, they treated me just like you. They thought I was one of you. That's what he's saying. He's saying that, you know, he had to get his family involved a little bit here and there, but overall he was treated like a stranger, like a foreigner, which I don't buy. I don't buy at all that he does not, that those people don't know that he's a Gambian. You said, I see three things here. Him and his family ready to scam Black Americans. He got scammed by the man that was working for him, or he seen all the Americans making money there and he didn't like it. Yeah, he saw all the money that was flowing in through them developing or them trying to build their house or something like that. He's like, why can't I get on some of that action? That's all that he's doing right here. I don't believe his story.
So I keep on moving, just matching. And the new guy in charge, who is a relative of mine, was even way more ruthless, guys. Way ruthless. Prices started going up. So mind you, the groundnut that mind you, over months, I paid so much money to grow it in my farm, so I can feed my livestock, and he has my livestock with him. He has it with him. So you would think it's in both of our interests for us not to buy the food, because now I'm growing the food. Oh, no. He had a different idea. So he collected the bags of the groundnut hemp This is the leaves that the livestock eat. And they told me the amount. I'm all excited. Bro, within a month, he told me it was done. So this guy sold off all that, and then now he started charging me money to buy groundnut hemp for my own livestock. And I'm like, man, this is crazy. This is what most of you are dealing with. So now it's very clear to me. I was like, okay, this guy is clearly taking me for a ride. He's scamming me. So now he's got tens of thousands of dollars of my belongings, my assets. If I move, hard right now, I'm thousands of miles away. There's nothing I can do. So let me just play along. Let me play.
And think about the people that's from America don't know anything about the Gambia, how much harder it would be for you if you got gaffled, if you got. People can just make up names or different owners to the land. You don't really know if it's the truth that they're telling you. I've heard horror stories where people were selling on top of selling the same plot of land. And they would get paid, or they would pay these people that knew that they were doing that. And then it's like a court situation. Then you got to figure out who you're supposed to be suing and how you're going to find them when you're all the way in America. How do you know what to do? You don't know what to do. You're at the mercy of these people that are desperate, looking for a way out, and you are that way out. That is what the message should be. But because he got glee in his eye, he sees the writing on the wall that so many other Black Americans have been foolish before. Why not be foolish again with him? Why not help me set up my ranch, my destiny, my future, my wealth off of your investment? And then I'll just tell you anything, and you'll have to just sit by and wait and see. Sit in a corner and wait until I tell you something that you might like to hear or you might not. That's the game in which is set up for us to really do. And I want us to try here in America. I really want us to try to do something. There's still land available here in America, but no man or nobody's standing up except for that one family that got some land somewhere in the country somewhere. I can't remember what state it was in, but it was a family of a big family of people that decided to purchase land, and they're supposedly doing well, I hope. You said, Pinky says, why he didn't put a family member in charge to start with. He tried to slave someone and got ripped off. I don't believe it, though, because remember when I said that he incorporated his slaves and his family? So he has pull, according to what he said in times past, he has pull with, the government or with the higher up people, the elitists of the Gambia, because he's one of them. So for him to play dumb as if he just went in blindly, he was looking to turn on a light in the dark, he had no awares about this or that and the other, don't buy that shit. That is a fucking lie. You said he's in a hurry. He knows Trump incoming. Yeah, he's in a hurry. Like I said, in my opinion, it is best that we sit on money and wait to see what's about to happen next. A lot of people are going to be caught off guard by what's going to continue to happen to us. Look at, for instance, Detroit, y'all. Detroit suddenly is now getting hemmed up possibly to have to deal with these migrants. And I was born in Detroit. And Detroit always looked like it needed a lot of help. And suddenly now they're going to bring migrants there. I want you guys to hear this YouTuber. I meant to bring him on a couple of videos ago and I couldn't remember his name. He's from Detroit. His name is Detroit's HPTV. He's going to break down the suffering that Detroit people are suffering under and why that is. For us to understand, this is what we're going through in America, y'all. This is not play that we have time and the luxury to have the likes of Afridamus or any other Pan-African or African to scam us. We really don't have the luxury.
Detroit's HPTV coming to you out of Detroit. Over the last several months, since this migrant crisis has gotten really out of hand, and people, you know, they're on different sides of the aisle as it relates to it. But there should only be one side for us, and that's the side of taking care of our own. Now, they're busting the migrants into Detroit, and they're getting the services that's needed for people that live in Detroit, the homeless in Detroit, the citizens of Detroit. Taxes are paying for immigrants to come in while the people of Detroit suffer, their community suffer, and nothing has been done about it. And at some point, we got to take care of our own people. You know what I mean? We can't, obviously, we can't depend on.
And that's the thing. We have got to help take care of our own here at home in America. There are going to be a lot of our family members being hit up or affected by these migrants. They might be affected by layoffs. They might be affected by being fired or, you know, a fire or anything could happen. Any emergency can happen. And you done ran your ass over there to Africa to throw your money at a random African scammer. Money that you had sitting up looking at. And now he done got you to pull that money out of the bank and throw it at him. All because you're looking for validation, when instead you could have saved that money for a rainy day and been a hero to your family, or a hero to yourself, or a hero to your kids. But no, we don't want to have any safety nets. We want to perish or run towards the fire. Jump in that motherfucker instead of saving ourselves. And this is why I like this guy right here. He's very sane. He's very logical. And he says it very plain. And it's obvious that he's speaking the truth. Let's go.
You know what I'm saying? I look at my comments when I did my other video about the migrant crisis. You got a lot of people was in my comments talking about, y'all voted for the Democrats, y'all deserve it. But I know these people are Caucasian people. They think everybody that's black is a Democrat and vote for Biden. You know what I mean? And they come off like, oh, that's what you guys get. Okay. They trolling me. But I want you to see some of what is really going on in Detroit. You know what I mean? A lot of our homeless have mental health issues. A lot of our homeless live under the viaduct. A lot of our homeless can't get the service because nobody is reaching out to give it to them. Now, stick with me and watch this. This is for fair use in the 1976 Copyright Act for commentary and educational purposes. Look closely at what you're seeing, please.
Fair use, by the way, for all videos.
Listen. I would take my son's back. Carolyn. Go ahead. We're here in Detroit. You're out here homeless. Yeah. Tell me about it.
Okay. After I've been homeless, I had the best family in the world. After I've been homeless because I wanted to be. I got tired of my 13 brothers telling me what the hell to do. Okay, I'm not gonna lie to you. When I lost my twin on 14 West Grand Boulevard, 86, couldn't eat, I told all of them to kiss my ass. When I went to the porch with my dog, I told them to kiss my ass. No, and then they didn't want to accept because I had a baby. Okay, so you kiss my ass. No. I'm not gonna change my life for you, nobody else. And when you mess with a woman, man or a baby can help yourself, you still kiss my dick. Dig my mammy up and kiss her ass. I really mean that. And no matter what, baby, I don't change. If I change, you wouldn't even like me. Because you'd be a contract for body. But I don't retire. And I'm not going to change for it. Only thing I'm going to change for is the man up in the sky. And you remember that ladder that he knocked down? I was out climb that motherfucker, baby. I want to reach you. I want to help you to reach his hand out. And I'm going to bite that motherfucker and just clamp to pull me on up. God is good. Smile. And I wish I was married to him. Every day I pray. And I've been homeless now because I want to for 2 years. Because when I was at the rehab, they stole all my shit, you know. You first choice shit coming from do good. Y'all put that motherfucker in there too. Baby, and it's sad to say you spend all your money on a rehab, put up your $300 for food, and then somebody else coming in and steal it. Get food out of the refrigerator. What else you want to know? So, how do you survive out here? How I survive? I survived going to the Burger King. I survived going up there. They asked them for something and give me a piece of cardboard. And then Second Baptist in Greektown, they give out boots and underwear and everything once a week. I take showers like twice a week. God is still good. I don't care how you look at it. God been so good to me, baby. I don't give a damn if you gonna lag me or what. But I've been homeless, and you ain't gotta give me shit. Where'd you sleep last night? When I sleep at on the ground, better pay in the bay. Right across from Louisiana. You know what right up there on the grass. Yeah, right there, because the heat was coming out and I was cold. And sometimes I sleep behind 36 dishes. The police woke me up yesterday morning. I was so mad with that morning. The sergeant woke me up. I said, you know what? I decided this guy, why in the hell did you wake me up? Because I know you don't have to leave him. I mean, Miss Green, I know you don't have to leave him till 9. When he said, you got to get up because the judge said, when you tell Judge Master, I said to go to hell. Because he was down here with a special motherfucker. Yeah, so, I mean, what's your future like? My future is that I'm on oxygen. But I got a home, but I wish not to go to it because I don't like nobody tell me what to do. So you live out here by choice. I live out here for choice because I don't feel like telling. You know what? I'm paying rent, and you gonna tell me what the fuck to do at home? Or you keep that motherfucker sticking in your head? I don't care if you.
Yeah, she needs her own apartment, and yeah, she looks like her eye is blackened. That's unfortunate. But this is the type of situations that we're finding more and more and more. Americans are finding themselves either pushed out to be homeless or they're forced to cram together to live with one another for the cost of living is so high. Or they can't afford to get these things because of, bad credit or an eviction or something like that. What makes it virtually hard to get a place in certain places, such as California and other places like that, that's very strict about who they rent to. And once you are asked out on a list of being asked out, you're just passed over and you're homeless. There are so many people now living out of their car, living in tents. I pass by them every single day, and there's more and more of them that's coming apparently daily. I remember about 6 months ago, there were a couple of people in a wheelchair that was homeless. I could not believe when I found this guy laid out, a black man, older. He had to be about 69, 68 years old. And he was laid out on the concrete, and his wheelchair was he had something that he wrapped around his leg to make sure that nobody would take his wheelchair, like something that he just tossed around him to the arm of the wheelchair, or was it the tire? One or the other. And I was just like, oh my God, I can't believe that this is happening. And I helped him out initially when I seen him, but I haven't seen him anymore. But it was shocker to see people in their wheelchair homeless. You said she needs to be in an apartment building where they can have an office that provides supportive services for mentally ill. Yeah, she needs her own place. If she's having problems living with her family, she should get her own place so that her family could get a place on their own, not get chased out of her spot is what she allowed to have happen.
Everything look good. How you look in the new dictionary now, he would put the kitty back up there. And guess what? I found out in the long run that Prince Kenny had something to do with death. If he had 3 wishes, what would they be? To straighten out life, to give to the homeless, and to have my will. You bring my son back. That's it. I got out.
And this is what I mean about, people that really care about the right stuff, which I believe that Detroit's HPTV does. Please subscribe to his channel. I accidentally found him talking about the immigration issue, and he seems to be pretty solid. And we really need to hear Black American men speaking up for what's right, because we have so many people that's slithering around speaking for us on account of them wanting to take advantage of us. So let's listen some more to this ridiculous story, and then I'm going to conclude with his latest video where he declared that he's going to be chief over the blacks. And again, he is hustling. He is acting. This is performance act 101.
The fool that he thinks I am. I'm like, I can afford to, drip, feed him a little bit here and there. Just to, keep him in the loop, to convince him that he is in fact in charge. You see? So at this point, I don't have any other option right there in the Gambia. So I'm like, man, what am I gonna do? What am I gonna do? So while I'm pondering on that, now I'm dude, I can laugh at this, but this was traumatizing. It was crazy. So I'm trying to keep my cool, and the guy hit me with the news that, my big Billy goat, I'm talking about this big goat. I bought the goat young. The goat is now, big. I'm talking looking good. I'm excited. I'm like, hey, that's my goat. I'm like, this goat is looking good. This goat, I ordered this goat all the way from Senegal. I paid special transport for this goat to be transported into the Gambia. So I'm attached, right? I've been watching videos of the goat. The goat is looking good. Nice. And then the guy hits me up telling me this goat, he slaughtered the goat because the goat looked like he was gonna die. Like the goat all of a sudden is sick. So he didn't want the goat to die. And the story was this is a goat that is kept indoors. The goat doesn't go out to fend. I buy food for the goat. And he hit me with the story that the goat, in fact, ate like some plastic. I was like, dude, that's weird. How did that happen? Guys, believe it or not, I said it like this in a calm way because I'm thinking, man, this is wild. This is wild. So he slaughters the goat, guys. He slaughters the goat, and he sends me a mini video of my goat getting skinned. Ladies and
Acting 101. I don't believe this at all. I think this is made up. I don't buy this at all. He's trying to connect with emotionalism. He knows that you guys are hecka soft over what he says in reference to this fucking goat, a fucking goat. Okay. So y'all believe that someone like this had that experience. You can go ahead and believe it all you want, but I don't buy it. I really think that he is tailor-made a storyline, a narrative to try to attach himself to us as the types of issues that we may have in the Gambia, which would never measure because we would have far worse experience because we don't speak the language and we don't know enough about the Gambia to be having lawsuits pending with any other litigation that may result behind these purchases of land or development of housing or anything like that. We would just be asked to fuck out. And everybody knows it. Everybody knows this secret that Black Americans are not protected at all. Our government doesn't care what happens to us. We're being, scattered, and squeezed out of America. And we're also being deleted as far as our funds is concerned when we're trying to make our way abroad. And that is just the fact of the matter. But let's listen to this story about the goat.
guys, can you imagine the pain I was going through? I'm like, man, what can I do? I can't do anything. So now I have to pretend again that everything is good because he eliminated the big billy goat. Now I've got my expensive sheep with him and the rest of the other goat. So if I make a big deal out of it, guess what? The goats are gonna come up sick again. So I'm like, okay, I'm just gonna buy time. I'm going to buy time. Let me distract this guy. So I was like, okay, hey, check this out. I want to build some buildings on my farm. I want you to run this for me. You know? He was like, sure. But this guy is dual scammer. This guy cannot be distracted. Following week, I get hit with another video. Now, one of my...
Do you see him acting out, y'all? This is not even his character be doing all this extra moving around. He's moving around like he's a real Black American, getting all hyper. He is acting right here. Really acting right here. I don't buy this story at all. And like I said, when I play the next video, you're going to understand how it affects other weak-minded people who hear this story, who's going to bring up about the story of the goat. Again, it's a way to leverage emotionalism and some stupid, dumb bird that consider themselves lost, who don't know who they are, who want to get a pat on the back, a hug, a praise, something, anything, so that they can feel better than what they feel. And it's sad.
Expensive sheep, the ladums, came up dead. I was like, oh my God. Now I'm losing it. And prior to that, the sheep gave birth to 2 little sheep, and he said one of them died. So now I'm panicking, I'm like, okay, just calm down, and I'm like, I'm calm. I'm like, oh, this is painful, but I'm just calm. So I'm moving on with what I planned. So now I was like, all right, we're going to plant some corn and, groundnuts on the farm. And at the time, the guy that is doing all the work on the farm, I sent his salary, he was not delivering the guy's salary for 3 months. Now that guy also became restless. He wants to be in contact with me. So at the time, I already asked this guy for this guy's contact. He said, no, this guy, he doesn't even have a phone. This guy is a bushman. I was like, man, this is wild. But the blessings came from when I needed somebody to go build structure on my farm. So I said I wanted a storage. So he picked his own, mason guy who was gonna do the job for me. He picked that person for me. I was like, okay. I asked for credentials. He's like, no, he's good. And they sent me some photo, whatever, that he built something. So now, bringing that guy to come and do the work on my farm, that became the blessing for me. Because now, he met the guy there who does all the work. I sent the money for them to start out with 100 bags of cement, to start the project. So the guy goes, he buys 50 bags. Mind you, at the time, he had total autonomy, total control, he thought. Okay? The guy he brought who's supposed to be building is under his command. So he's letting him know, look, this is your time for you to come up. Because I started learning that what they do over there, when you think someone is doing the work for you, you put them in charge. When you send the money, like he bought, when I wanted 100 bags of cement. He bought me 50 bags of cement. So now, the other 50 is going to go for his own building project. So no wonder, most of you in the diaspora, it takes you forever to build anything. And then you go over there, they have built themselves big mansions. I mean, of course, it's not all, but these stories are so prevalent that, you would have to believe it. I've seen it with my own eyes. So the guy became restless, so next door to me, I acquired another land there at the time. And he figured out a way to get, my phone number from that guy. And the guy got in contact with me and he revealed everything to me. I was like, thank you. So now I'm armed with information. And I asked the guy, I said, hey, how many bags of cement did you buy? He was like, 100. I was like, can I speak to the suppliers, because I want him to bring more. So the guy is all of a sudden now dancing around, So I asked him again to give me the phone number of the guy who is building my storage on my farm, because now that guy is now in the same place with the guy that is working on my farm. So he knows now I'm going to get the real information. He was like, okay, I'll send it to you right now. 24 hours goes by, I didn't get anything. So I called him the next day. I was like, hey, you never sent me that phone. He's like, I was taking a shower. I was like, okay, why don't you just give it to me right now? He's like, okay. And he pretended to forget again. And because in Africa, they count on that. They want you to forget. But I was just stinging. And I'm like, you know what? F these people. I'm going to push all the limits all the way through. I'm going to uncover what is happening here. Eventually, long story short, so I conspired with the guy that works there. I said, tell him, if you don't get your salary, you are going to quit. And you're going to seize all the bags of cement. Oh, he lost it. He was like, no, don't do that, blah, blah, blah. Long story short.
Well, let him finish it, but I don't believe none of it. Len M says they sound like scammers to me because they are. Pinky Wells says that man and his family ate good off the goat for a month. If that's true, if it is true, and I really am having a hard time believing it based on what he has said in times past. Like I said, he's supposed to be the big man in Gambia. He's supposed to be well known and liked. He has a family there. He's from there. And suddenly he got all these problems that foreigners have. I don't believe it. You know what I'm saying? I can't believe it. But I'm going to let this play a little bit, and then we're going to play the clip that really that had a lot of us, I'm sure, very upset when he called himself the chief over the blacks.
Now, I found out, and I made it known to him that I am aware. So within that week, the guy scammed, what he scammed from me was like over $1,000. And the moment I gave the information that, I found out, and I told him he can no longer run the farm, I said, just take care of the sheep. He asked me to send him money right away for the sheep. I was like, wait a minute. I said, you just took over $1,000 of my money, which is a lot of money in the Gambia. He's like, no, I don't have any money. I was like, where's the money? He's like, look, man, I don't have any money. So right away, I was like, damn. I was like, I am dealing with a psychopath here. A lot of you have psychopathic relatives in Africa, but you're so naive. You are emotionally manipulated. You don't want to accept it. I was like, man, this guy is like the Afridamus of livestock. Guys, you will not believe what I'm about to tell you. This is going to blow your mind. Even myself, I could not. Look, in this next chapter, you're not going to believe this happened. Okay? So, the guy now, I'm telling him now, my money that you scammed me out of, and before that, I sent money for you to buy food for my livestock. You are not doing that. So he was like, yo, man, you gotta send me, you gotta send money for me to buy food for the livestock. They don't have anything, blah, blah, blah. And I'm like, this guy is a ruthless guy. I mean, like, this guy is making everything clear to me. And in fact, he said to me, oh, I'm on your side. It's like, I've got, tens of thousands of your investment in my possession here, and so, like, I'm like, okay, is he sending me a message to let me know you better do what I say or else? And guys, that's exactly what the message was. Get the likes up, guys. That's what the message was. Guys, don't forget to hit the super chats and get the likes up, okay? You put things past these people. But the guy was like, no, man, in fact, all of a sudden he told me in a voicemail, this is WhatsApp. He sent me a voicemail. He's like, he sent a video of, one of my little goats. Mind you, this goat is one of the goats from the big billy goat that he killed and ate. So luckily, now I'm able to have, before the goat was put on the grill, because let's just put it that way. Before the goat was put on the grill, luckily, the goat, was able to give, like leave something behind. So the goat left two little goats behind, a male and a female. So this guy sends me a video, and in this video, he says to me, "Look, man, I've told you to send me money, and you're not, and now look at it, man, this goat is gonna die." Something like, guys, I could not believe this. I was like, nah, this guy is, I was like, nah, he's tripping. The next day, guys, I get a video. This is like a terrorist, like literally the guy.
That's what I'm saying. He's making it up as he goes. This is not believable at all. What's up, Gustavo Guerrero? I hope I'm saying it right. How are you doing? Thank you for coming through. Oh, God. Now my phone want to get stuck.
At this point, is terrorizing me. He sent me a video of my dead goat. Guys.
Do you believe that? Now he sends a video of his dead goat. And the first goat that was killed, he was told that it was being killed and eaten because it was sick. Now this goat supposedly now is going to get cooked up with a video being shown with him supposedly killing the goat, I guess.
Guys, this might sound funny to you, but like this happened to me. This is why, like you guys want to see me on YouTube, because I was too upset. Like I could not believe what
He can't keep his story straight. He said the first time he didn't go on because he didn't want people that watch him to see him talking about the situation that he was going through. Now he's too distraught. He's too upset. Again, he's trying to connect and convey this emotionalism to us. That's part of the scam, to connect to do, what do you call that? Trauma bonding. He's flipping this trauma bonding to attach it to himself. And some ignorant Black American will see this and they will really think that he went through this and that we should really care about his feelings and what he went through and somehow throw money at him to make him feel better. It's really weird, but I hope to goodness that I can save a few people to understand what they're looking at and understand what scammers do and understand that we are vulnerable and people know it. And this is why they come to us with proposals. It would be one thing, Afridamus. Again, if you would have hit up your Africans that are always on your panel talking shit about Black Americans, about your proposed investment to them. No, you skipped all of them, knowing full well you intend to scam, and you came directly to the so-called diaspora. You're not a Pan-African, so what are you using that word for? But that's the way in the gate, by using the word diaspora, by talking about building in Africa, by talking about land purchases in Africa. It connects you to the lesser ones that don't really feel confident to be in their own skin. You said you can't eat sick animals. That's what I thought. I was thinking to myself, if it was a sick animal, why would you want to eat it? Wouldn't that make you maybe sick? I don't know. I did think about that. That really doesn't make sense. And then Pinky Wells also says that face looks like he's eating a lot of effing bush meat. Yeah, it does. You also said earlier, I'm sorry, I missed this comment. Excuse me, a lot of mentally ill wander off and their family doesn't know where they are, or the family couldn't handle her drama. Yeah, she seemed like she was a bit much, but she needed to live alone. From what I'm seeing, the type of personality that she has, she needed to live alone, not with a whole host of people that's always in her ear about something. She probably didn't like always hearing people in her ear. Pinky Wells says she needs to be in an apartment building. Oh, I read that, where they have an office that provides supportive services for mentally ill. Yeah, that's exactly what she needed. and Black Americans are not African diaspora. No, we're not. They're trying to stick that word to us by saying it over and over and over again. But technically, we are not the diaspora because we don't have a homeland in Africa. Everybody else, well, the Jamaicans and the Jamaicans have their homeland is in Jamaica. Haitians have a homeland is Haiti, and other Caribbeans have their home where they were born from. But our home is America, and we don't have an extra place that is ours that we belong to. People can say and name a place for us, but it's not true. People can use their DNA results to mean that's where you come from, but it's not true. It's entertainment. And so, but just think about how people really gravitate to those DNA tests and how they put so much truth or belief in truth that result provides them. And they really truly believe that they're really from Sierra Leone. They're really from Nigeria based on the percentages of what those entertainment kits say. It's fascinating, but that lets you know how easy and vulnerable we are for us to get so emotional off of an entertainment kit that cannot tell you your tribe. It might find you a lost cousin or brother or father because it's your blood, and they're finding people that you're actually related to that you can test the blood and also know that they're related to you that way. But you can't do the same thing when it comes to a so-called tribe or land. Those land masses weren't even the land masses back in the day when slavery was. So it is all hypothetical, but a lot of people really, really, truly believe in just these fantasies, these fables, and they tell themselves that it's the gospel is truthful. And then it winds them into being this manic of, I want to be closer to Africa and I'll do anything to prove my allegiance to Africa. Here, I'll throw money here. I'll do this. I'll do that. And that's how people are lying in wait to get you. And that's what is happening right now. You said, Lynn says, it's weird that we stay on our minds, that we stay on their minds. I know they want our money, but I think they are getting paid by the elite. They are definitely getting paid behind the scenes. They're told by some sponsor of sort, because you know you have an email, so they can easily contact somebody through their email and say, hey, I have a proposal for you. If you could do these type of topics, I'll kick you down, $1,000 every other 2 weeks or whatever like that, something like that. I'll be a blessing to you if you could just do these type of topics and stay clear of these type of topics. That's all you have to say. Why do you think people stay stuck on the same topic day in and day out? Think about Cynthia G, how she just stays stuck on talking about primarily lame men, never deviated from it. It was her lane for as long as she could go. And many others like the Manosphere talking about women all the time. You have other people talking about divestment all the time. You have people talking about passport bros all the time. And this is all that they do. And it is a mechanism to distract us, and it provides an escapism from not dealing with real issues that are right in front of your face. And that's the truth. You said, hold on. Someone has to be paying them. Came here poor and stay on social media all day. Yeah, for sure, Pinky. I really believe that a lot of people are banking on this change that they want to have happen here in America. They want America not to stand as America anymore. They want it to be remade over into some type of socialism and more prone to one world order is what I believe. That's why a lot of people are not tripping about all these migrants coming over here. They're inviting them, they're enticing them, they're luring them. They know what they're doing, and they're doing it on purpose, Lynn M says, right, we have no African relatives, language, culture, country, tribes, etc. Country of origin is the United States of America. And we're the only ones that can say that, with our chest poked out. because we really don't know anybody else from any other land. Like the ones that have half the family from another place and they have one foot here in America, like by their mom or something like that, they can't relate to someone that doesn't have no other home other than America. And specifically, my story to help most of us is the ones that don't have good families. They don't have a lot of options. They don't have a lot of wiggle room to make a lot of mistakes. They just don't have the luxury to do a lot of things that other people take for granted, and they do, and they get away with it. If we do it, you know, we end up homeless because we messed up a couple of $1,000. And then we had a car issue, or we lost our job, or we lost a loved one, or something happened to our health. Just that easy. People can go down from where they are to where they never have been, just like that. And so my message goes to people that are true Americans that don't know any other place other than America. And their options are not anywhere else but America. I'm speaking to those types of people right there. And again, most of those people are the most vulnerable. Unfortunately, that's the way it is.
What I found myself in. He sent me a video and he tells me, look, man, I tried to tell you, but you had to push me. Wow. I was like, what? So now the goat is dead. All right? I would say a week prior to that, my high-priced sheep, the sheep that cost a lot more, had given birth to a young sheep. Because, guys, when he sent me the video, I did not respond. Because I was like, man, the hell? What am I supposed to do? So, guys, the next day, I swear, literally the next day, he recorded a video of the young sheep. And in the video, he says to me, oh, look at how beautiful this sheep is. It would be so sad if something happened to it because you don't want to send money. I'm like, guys, I woke up and I saw this message. I was like, is this real? I'm like, am I dealing with it like a Afridamus here? I could not believe this. So I was like, okay, wait, I'm going to do one more move here. I'm going to pull a move. So I threatened him. I called him and I threatened him. Right? And when I threatened him that look, you better not do anything to my sheep. I'm going to send the police and all that. So at this point, the guy cuts off communication between us. So sometimes he would record the young sheep, the young vulnerable sheep, or the young goat, and just send me their video, but not the rest of the other animals. So exactly, and now he took my sheep's hostage. So guys, this is why my move going to Gambia, I did not announce it here. I was dealing with a hostage situation down there. Hostage situation. I could not believe this.
Again, I am not buying this story. I think it's ad-libbed. I think that he got with his tribe and they were like, we see you on YouTube. You seem to have a connection with those people giving you all those donations, those Americans, even though you bash them. They and get them to believe in whatever you say, because they believe in everything you say on your platform, even though it's bogus, even though it's inflammatory, even though it's directly gaslighting us, even though it's directly disrespecting us. He still feels the need to send his vitriol towards our way. And then suddenly he's gone for 3 little measly months. And then finally he says, oh, I had these circumstances happen to me. Now I have risen up from the dead of slumber, of being ignorant and talking crazy. Well, if that was the case, then you would have deleted all those videos that were degrading to Americans. You wouldn't keep those videos up and then turn around and talk to us about investment, but you didn't even care to take those videos down because you don't care. You ultimately are showing your colors, and your colors basically are saying that you're full of shit. And it's up to us as a community to call out potential scammers, even if it doesn't seem like something that we ought to do. I know that we have taken hold of this no snitch policy and ran to the hills with it, but we're going to be destroyed if we allow things to be as is. If we don't speak up and have a voice to say, hey, that's not right. Hey, this person over here has their daggers onto you. This person right here is trying to take advantage of you, and here's why. We need to be our sisters and brothers' keeper for Americans, because we do not have representation. We do not have leadership. We do not have a lot of men that's saying a lot of things. They're too busy worried about their ding-a-ling. They're too busy escaping from reality. And so people like me is standing in the gap, speaking up, even if I'm not affected by the scam. Of course not. I'm not going to Africa under no circumstance. But for those that don't know what the scam, the making of a scammer is, here he is, Afridamus. That's who he is. Let me see what you said in the chat room. A scientist said those DNA tests are only entertainment. It can find an African relative or tribe. It can't find, okay, it can't find an African relative or tribe. Facts. Pinky Wells says Cynthia G talks bad about black men and is in cahoots with panties. Q butter. Yeah, I noticed that. That was kind of interesting. But I think because he was doing something other than just talking, she wanted to show that she would be willing to support a guy like that. I even liked at some point Q butter, but now that I see he's an extremist identity dweller, he's always trying to insert his ideology onto us forcefully. And so he has really rubbed me the wrong way as of late. So I don't support him like I had been before. I mean, I think that him promoting being a father is cool, and him having kids that he loves and dotes is cool. And I always will respect that. But outside of that, I don't think of him as highly as I did before. And that's just unfortunate, but oh well. Lynn M says, geneticists say that the test can't tell you where you come from. Read the box, AKA fine print. This is for entertainment purposes only. Yeah, I tell people that all the time. They don't want to believe it though. And then Lynn says, it is a divide and conquer war tactics, because a war between the black men and women caused the world war between the black men and women and push Pan-Africanism and interracial marriages. Exactly. Bingo, Lynn. You said a mouthful there, but that was true. Cynthia G and panties, Pinky says. Oh, Lord, that rings a bell, don't it? So I'm going to play like 5 more minutes of this, and then we're going to play the last video that I wanted to showcase again about this man declaring to be our chief. And again, I really believe that we should step ahead of things before they happen. I don't really like being too late and then crying and whining and screaming and yelping to the mountains about why did this happen? Oh my God, and all that type of thing. If you just speak to truth and not be respecter of trying to rub the wrong person the wrong way. Just live by the idea that you're trying to be righteous and you're trying to have righteous anger. And you need to expose people that think that we are to be toyed with and mocked. We shouldn't be celebrating and commending this man to want to take our money. He has done nothing for us. He does nothing here in America for us. So what purpose does he serve? He serves his own purpose. That's it. That's all.
I was like, my goodness, this is crazy. So now I'm in the complete dark. Mind you, I'm in the dark. I don't have any other spies now to go do the work for me. This is why it's good to be friendly. Wherever you go, talk to people, conversate, because you never know who would come in handy. And not all people are bad. So while I was in the Gambia the last time, I had a conversation with this guy, interesting guy, nice guy, and he asked for my phone number to exchange. He works in the security sector. So, sure. And, I talked to him a couple of times. So, friendly guy, nice guy. So I was like, man, who else do I have? So I called him. I thought about him. I called him. I was like, hey, this is my situation. My sheep and goats are held hostage. I don't know anything about them. So if you can help me, I gave him the address and I arranged for drugs. But prior to doing that, now this guy was sending me voice messages telling me, you need to come and get your sheep and goats or else I'm going to starve them. I reached out to some people, even some of the people on YouTube that do the livestock thing over there. Some of them, they were of no help. In fact, they were discouraging me, telling me to sell my stuff off. You see? So I contacted that officer and I put a team together. So I had to deceive the guy.
So instead of calling his own family that's right there in the Gambia, he had to call on to a stranger, possible American, to help save the day. And I'm supposed to believe this story. Again, I think that this is a far-fetched story. I don't even care to hear the ending of it. You guys can check it out. It is entitled How to Beat Gambian Scammers at Their Own Game, Protecting Your Investments, 5 days ago. It's a fantastical story, but I don't think that it's legit. I don't think that it has any validity to truth. I think that he's pulling the wool over our eyes and he's trying to say anything to try to garner our attention and our sympathy. That's what I think he's doing. But then that usually helps to scam. You know what I mean? Pinky says exactly what I was thinking. Call a stranger and the animals would be sold, not starved. Exactly. Like, come on. Pinky also says we've let too many people in our spaces. Yes, we have. And it's unfortunate that we can't craft our own individual audience according to how we like whoever we want to let in, to have, a real candid conversation, because you have to really watch what you say and how you say things, because things are perceived one way, even though you meant it another. But yeah, let me get to the part where this man actually said he was a chief. He was a chief for the blacks. I couldn't believe he said this mess, but he actually did. But that lets you know that he has lost his freaking mind. And people that want to believe that this man really has good intentions for us, you are definitely fooling yourself. Again, you look at his record on what he has done and how he has moved, and you go off of that. You don't go off of, you know, him showing up just in the nick of time to talk about, you know, investments, and you trust in him to help direct you where you need to go in the Gambia, and consultation. Oh, and you can have an account for investment. I mean, he's trying to get y'all hooked up to an account to where you owe him a dividend of amount to pay every month. He's definitely trying to pimp us, and it's really saddening that a lot of people are not outraged about this, because it's like insulting to me to see. It's very insulting to see. But there's nothing else I can do but just stand up in the middle of people not really caring to showcase this, and so you guys will know in the nick of time. Please like the video. I would really appreciate it. Share the video, subscribe to my channel. I'm trying to be a righteous channel for the people that are least protected, which in my opinion in America, it is the Black Americans that don't have another place to call home. We didn't come from somewhere else. We're the ones being targeted and squeezed out. We're the ones that's being targeted and defrauded and scammed. We're the ones that's always have a target on our back for this and that and the third. We're accused of so many things, whether we have anything to do with it, including wars that happened, Palestine and Israel. People were asking, where was our voices? It was so weird. But all these things constantly keep circling around us. And I feel like more of us should get righteous anger about how we're feeling and what is happening to us. But for right now, people are just distracted and they're in the middle of their escapism. And so I try to point out what I've learned and what I observed. And I try not to be emotional about explaining it. So I hope people don't take it as being so brass, because I guess it could be taken that way. But I really don't see the point in coloring my voice up to make it sound more appeasing when it's still going to be the same message. So this is why I don't really try to make it sound so nice, because it's not nice. Scamming is not nice. Deceiving people is not nice. Taking money from people like a baby snatching away candy is not nice. But these things are happening to us daily. And none of us are raising up really to really bring awareness and really care about what can happen to the next one. So this is why I talk about Akon. I talk about Dr. Eric Kana. I'm talking about Afridamus. I talked about Lou Major. I talked about Donis Demir, Black X, and many others I have talked about, and I have been right thus far. I have been right thus far. I have not been wrong on my guesses yet. But listen to what he has to say about declaring himself chief over the blacks.
Terrible business people, you know, they're terrible business people, but the place is open for business. So I see no reason why black, that's the good thing. That's what I'm saying. So I see no reason why black people cannot create their own business.
Are the first wave still in the Gambia, or are the first wave leaving, so that you have like people like who wants to create like serious business and they
no, there is
come in and stay, like such as yourself, and then such as, you know, other Black Americans who are serious, who are determined, like they want to do business, like they want to like they want to invest in the Gambia. These serious people. Are people that coming down, or are this first wave of you know like
no, the first wave
want to talk, or are they still living, or are they still residing in the Gambia?
No, most of the first wave still reside there in the Gambia. Mind you, these people are vested, they got lands, but it's not like communal. So I've met with some who, you know, like their heart is in the right place. They just got misled, right? So
You said, do I report any of his videos? No, I have never reported his videos. I just got mad about it and I did a response to the video. I know that I did at least 2 videos prior to me talking about him being a possible scammer. And one was because he allowed a racist white guy on his platform to rail at us and hurl accusations and insults at us. A racist. He literally had one on. And another one, I'm not sure what it entailed, but it probably had to do with how the Africans were talking at or about Black Americans, and he was allowing them to tee off on us without anyone standing up to say anything about it. And usually when that happens, I will do a video about it because we had no defense. And I feel like because we're defenseless, I have to do a video to fight back in my own little way, because he's not going to allow a female, especially a woman like me, who's a warrior, to go on his platform and go toe to toe with him. He's going to mute me. He's going to put me in the back, or he's going to drop me or block me. That's all these men do. They cannot stand to truth. They won't answer to anything, usually ever. And so making a video is the least that I could do. And that's what I did. But no, I have never reported him. And for the most part, I usually don't try to watch most of his videos because they're so triggering to me and it makes my blood pressure boil. But this time I happened to catch a little bit, like 5 minutes of the video I just played about him talking about that goat. And I was like thinking to myself, this motherfucker trying to get ready to pivot to scam us. He's about to talk about investments. He's about to talk about something. And that's exactly what he's doing now. So you guys have been warned that Afridamus does not like us. He wants to use and abuse us, though. He think it is a laughable situation, and the Africans are high-fiving him, and they're laughing at us. And it's really shameful and embarrassing that people don't challenge Afridamus the way I think he needs to be challenged. People act like they're scared of him. And like I said, I would approach him if I knew I could talk, but I can't. So therefore I won't. I'll just do a video. You said, let me go back up. What's up, BB Rodriguez? Thank you for coming through. I really appreciate you. And I'm going to go backwards because my phone is tripping. You said, I seen him not letting you talk before. That's what I mean. And yes, the racist guy that is always there. I don't know where he's been. Well, he hasn't been around for 3 months because Afridamus has not been around. But he most certainly had a panel wide open for him to use it however he wanted. And he hurled accusations and insults to Black Americans, and mainly Black American women. Said that we were loose, we were easy, we were fat, all kinds of stuff he said. Pinky says he's hilarious. If we were lazy and poor business people, America would look like every African country. Yeah, that's true, but it won't be taking too long with all these changes that's happening so quickly, Pinky, unfortunately. Unfortunately, the changes are going to happen kind of quick. Pinky Wells says, people who hate us, and that includes whites. Yeah, he lets anybody on there that hates us. That's exactly what he was doing. And that's why we should not reward him by giving him our money. That's why we should never reward somebody like that. Pinky says, you have always spoken truth, been watching your channel for almost 2 years. I really appreciate that, Pinky, because a lot of times I've been wanting to quit. A lot of times I thought that people were just not getting me. But as time went on, some of my prophecies, I don't really like calling them prophecies, but they have been, that I have foretold before they happen would happen. And so, I just kept going because there wasn't a lot of people doing what I do. And I really hope that people will start appreciating me trying to be righteous and tell the truth, even if it's not comfortable. I'm not trying to be Islamophobic. I'm not trying to be hateful, but I really think that we should think in terms of what and how to protect ourselves as indigenous Black Americans when all that we know is America, and everybody is trying to pick at us like vultures, and everybody's trying to play tug of war with us. We have a lot of stuff going on against us right now. And so I am in the corner of the least protected in America. Like, of course, there's other people around the globe that have even less protections. I'm not saying that there are not other people that have least protections, but I'm only talking about in the standpoint of America, what I can see and what I can feel and what I can know. Whatever happens in other parts of the world, I'm not there. I am learning more about other societies and other cultures because I don't want people talking about me without me understanding where they're coming from and what I could talk about back about them. So I've been studying and learning different countries and different things that I've never been interested in before, which makes me a lot more smarter and quicker to discern when people are bullshitting us, and Afridamus is bullshitting us. You said, Len M says, notice he only has 3,000 subscribers. I wish I had that many. Help me out, you guys. Hit the like and hit the subscribe button. You said, why is there just a dude? Because all the other people were avatars. They didn't have they weren't cammed up or XY. Thank you for coming through, though. Pinky Wells says, I go watch a minute and report them and they stay up. Need more people to report them. Probably so. Or he might be protected by bigger wigs. You never know. Because he has he provides a insatiable taste of us, on the platter. That's what he was doing, for people to just randomly come onto the platform and just let loose on us. That's what he did. Pinky Wells says, we have to have conversations with people in our private lines, social circles, and workspaces. That would be great, but it's very hard to trust and do, unfortunately, right now. But we do need to. We really do need to. And Pinky Wells says, exactly, I was thinking call a stranger and the animals would be sold, not starved. Again, yeah, like, why are you calling anybody you just met when you have a whole family up in the Gambia, and I'm supposed to believe that that's the only solution that you had? Come on. I'm not buying it. So you said trailer park. Yeah, he's that. I've seen him not letting you talk before. Exactly. That's why you don't see me run up there to be disrespected, because why would I want to be having that happen? If you're not going to let me talk, why am I there? Pinky Wells says Biden is importing poverty. Yes, he is. That's exactly what he's doing. He is getting rid of the middle class right now as we speak. Len M says, we get you and appreciate what you do. I can see what's going on and appreciate someone else who see the same thing. Thank you so much. Sometimes it gets hard to talk about this type of stuff because people are really up in arms about us saying anything that appears to be anti-African. And it's like, we're not African, though. We're American. I'm sorry to bust your bubble, but we don't have a home place there. We don't share anything in common with anybody over there. So what are you doing and saying? The Rowdy Turtle, hello, how are you doing? You just joined. Thank you for coming through. I really appreciate you as well. And I guess Glenn Fraser said something crazy. What'd she say? Oh, Lord. Okay. Anyways, let me play the rest of this tape because my battery is getting low. And I want you guys to understand yet again that Afridamus is not a real guy. He's not a genuine guy. And he's doing everything in his power to try to change his personality to make it seem like he's a cool guy. You can relate to him. He has so many things in common with us. We can trust him. We've seen him on YouTube and we can trust him now. We know how that'll go, though, right?
They are still, like they're willing to pivot. They're willing to, make changes. And then you have the ones that are still holding on to, their old school mentality, whatever they're thinking. So, yeah, they're there, and you have some that have left. But for the most part, a lot of these people are still there. But, they don't know, most of them, not all, but most of them don't know what they're doing, to be honest. The place is so busy. So
what's the bum rush? Sorry cutting you off. I was gonna say, like, what's the bum rush about going to Gambia? There's other places they could have gone. And like, why not?
The thing is, in Gambia, the beauty they have not.
Catch it. He said, why do they have to go to Gambia? And he hurried up and tried to clean it up right here, though. Watch.
Established to establish a market. The Gambia is truly a capitalist system. It's just like America. So I see why these people create
in mainland Africa. Why not go to a bigger country that have a bigger economy like Nigeria?
But Nigeria, that's the thing.
Instead.
No, the smaller country is better because the laws are favorable. You can easily create business. Nigeria is a larger market, and a lot more different culture. So for a black Westerner, to be honest, like Gambia is not too vast, so it's easy to blend in once you understand these fundamentals that I'm laying here. Nigeria, yes, might be nice, but it's a different type of market, different approach. You see what I'm saying? So in Gambia, the things you gotta deal with, for example, let's say Ghana or some parts of Nigeria where the chiefs they are the custodians of the land, where they can come up with their taboos and all that and get the land from you. You don't have to worry about that in Gambia. Gambia is strictly like British. It's like white people land. It's white people law that is happening. So it's like America, the people own the land. Does that make sense?
Well, are you guys still going to dub the Gambia, the Smiling Coast? Like all this drama that's going on every now and then?
It is. I would still call it the Smiling Coast. Some of the smiles are genuine.
Like the sad face.
What kind of smiles are we having when we're becoming either broke, ill, homeless, without money, without options, going crazy because of scams and being pimped and being punked? What kind of smiles are we having? Thus far, I ain't seen too many people smiling in the Gambia. I don't know what he's talking about. But again, he needs to paint the narrative, as Pan-Africans do, about how paradise awaits us. And if we leave America, we can have the place that we never ever dreamed of ever before. Never mind all the pros and cons, especially the cons, and just look for what we need to have you do for now. This is why he's going to clean it up.
It looks to me like the sad coast.
No, you would encounter that too, but the Smiling Coast is still a reality. It's still a true thing. Because some people, it's a mixture. There is some who are very open, but let's not forget, anything good, it's not just going to come like that. There's going to be obstacles. There's going to be devils that want to stop you.
That's good.
But are you going to let them?
One more question before I let my other brother speak is, let's talk about Afridamus bill. Is Afridamus going to be like a Wakanda, or is it going to be like Wagadu 2.0?
Just like I said, previous to Afridamus, I've done Akon, where he talked about his fraudulent fake cryptocurrency, Akon City. I talked about Wakanda City by the fraudulent Pan-Africanist Dr. Eric Kana. I've talked about Hope City. That also was a supposed technological city called Hope City that was supposed to be built in Ghana and never ever seen the light of day. All these different blueprinted scams of cities have already been done, have already been tried, and are all been proven to be a lie. The only truth that's going to be for Afridamus is that he will actually build what he says he's going to build with your investment. But the difference is it will be his and not yours. You will have helped him pay for his shit. You will help, build his shit, and you won't have nothing to show for. You'll just have to go and pay your way to see it. You'll have to pay for consultation. You'll have to pay for him to direct you over here or a house over there. Something he's going to get from you for his services. And that's the way he wants it. He wants to have a line in to also hustle us like everybody else previous to him. And this is saddening because, again, he has not shown any respect for us the whole entire time he's been having his platform. And now he takes off for 3 months and think he can pull this fucking scam over our eyes. This is what I am not having. And this is why I'm doing this video.
Can we talk about that? With Afridamusville, it's a combination of both Wakanda and Ouagadougou. You see, and you know, like.
And yes, the Africans and everybody else is laughing because they know what he's doing. They know that he ain't turn around and say, "How about you guys getting interested in my my village, my Afridamus village?" No, he ain't said a lick to all these men, 3 other men on the platform with him. He couldn't say, "You guys can join forces with me too." No, because he's not trying to have them be a lick because he is African first. And the only reason why he'll let Ross Moyes pass as a Haitian, because he reverences Africa so much. He always put Africa before his Haitian identity. So he's like in the same boat together. You got Ola, who's from Nigeria at the top, the gorilla guy. You have this person here, Mr. GIH04. I'm not sure who he is. Maybe we'll find out in a minute. But Afridamus knows what he's doing. And like I said, he's connecting himself with this sad story about goats and about sheeps, expecting us to put our guards down and forget about all the shit he's done and said in times past, which is not that long ago. But most of y'all don't have a bit of a memory at all. But I remember how disrespectful he was. I remember that racist white guy on there. I remember him calling me crazy. I remember him turning around talking about, "Oh, this crazy lady was right about what she said about Ghana. Oh my God, she wasn't crazy after all. She was right." And I'm right this time. I'm actually right this time. I'm just before time and trying to spare y'all from building his ranch with your money when you could use that money for yourself and your family. How about that part?
I give it less than a 5-year plan where, where people would be able to see a Western style ranch, the comfort, like you'll be able to directly travel to the Gambia and all the obstacles that I've been through. You can literally be a first-time traveler. You just go online and see, okay, I can go to Afridamus.
Again, so he is luring the first-time people who have never, ever been before so he can be the go-to guy. "Oh, I'll handle whatever you need. Oh, you need an Airbnb. I got a hookup. Oh, you need this. Oh, I just need this money for this consultation to help me get a referral for you, or have you do this or have you do that." Again, you're paying money. He's the go-to guy for money and then wants to get you linked up to investments for you to get enough. Hopefully that won't happen again. My phone is getting hot, you guys. So let me hurry up and finish this.
And get information and be in a familiar territory where I can be sent to the right places. So Afridamusville, it's a combination of Ouagadougou and Wakanda.
So is it strictly going to be for locals, for local Gambian, or is it going to be for WePats?
It's both. It's both. But even around me, a lot of the people that own the landowners are from America. So at the end of the day, it comes down to ownership, right? Mm-hmm. And so people own the land, and that's why I'm talking to others here online, because a lot of the people around me, surrounding me, that own the land are from America. So it's mostly Americans that own the land. So this is what would even make it possible.
And why would he emphasize only American owns the lands? Because he wants you to believe that you also can own these lands. So he's saying these Americans are owning these lands over here so that you guys can believe that you also can be a land owner. See how he's manipulative? peep game, y'all.
To have Afridamus bill, because over there I've already been given the title. It's called Badala Alcalo. I'm the mayor over there because I'm the one that laid the first stone, and I understand the language. So basically, I can be the chief of the blacks over there. Which
the chiefs over the blacks over there. That is the title of the decade. The chiefs over the blacks over there. He already named y'all the blacks. He's already disrespected us as being a people. He's likened us to just being merchandise. He said that slavery was a business. He doesn't have any qualms over slavery. He doesn't care about anything that we think on or how we feel. But because he knows that our money is slippery, he's coming at us this way to try to scam us now. And I figured this would be the perfect time to strike. I shouldn't let him get going in the beginning and then say something. I need to say something right now. And that's what I'm doing. Let's go.
For me, I'm sure there's going to be some people who would want to be opposed to it, but you have to ask yourself, what are you opposing here? Because would you rather deal with
I'm opposing you because you're not genuine. I'm opposing you because you're scamming. I'm opposing you because have the Africans build your shit up, nigga. What's wrong with you? Don't they have money that you could have them to invest in your shit? Why are you always coming to us first? Because again, we are the people that are targeted. This is why I don't like Africans like him. I don't like manipulative Africans. I don't like Pan-Africans. I don't like liars. I don't like people playing on my emotions. And even if he's not playing on my emotions, he thought about he could play on y'all. And that was all that mattered.
One that's going to be shady with you, or you rather deal with me, Afridamus, as the mayor, where I'm going to give you the raw truth,
So he's going to be your mayor and your chief. He's going to be the man that's controlling the shit. And you men are not mad about this shit. Y'all not going to step to this motherfucker and let him know he ain't going to be the chief of nobody? Man. Fuck.
It's nothing fake. You're going to get the reality and get your goal. So, yeah.
Yeah, that's good, man. So before I go, I just want to say to you, brother, my condolences to your goats, man. My condolences to your goats.
Yes, thank you. You got the story, of the goats.
Yeah, I got the story.
Yeah, it's even, the way what happened to those goats, it's worse than what happens in Nigeria, kidnapping humans.
All right, Afridamus, man.
All right, let's bring in Mr. GR184. GR184, welcome.
Now I remember who this is. I think he's an American, gonna be the typical type that will get got. Listen and sound how weak he sounds, man.
Afridamus report.
Hey, brother, man, appreciate you for having me.
Hey, no problem.
Appreciate it.
Hey, thank you. Thanks for coming.
I've never been to Gambia, but I just got back last month.
Okay, so what part do you stay at when you are out there?
No, I wasn't. I haven't been to Gambia. I went to South Africa and Tanzania.
Oh, okay.
Yesterday you were talking about that experience that you had with I guess the maintenance man at the building, the water problem, and things of that nature. Where
the gate man, shutting off the water. Yeah.
Yeah.
Have you experienced something like that?
Yes. Literally the exact same feeling. Literally the exact same feelings where
they trauma bonding right here. Some motherfucking dude is trauma bonding with Afridamus right here. Can you all believe this?
A bit, because I couldn't help but to think to have gotten as I'm gonna say you got paranoid, but It's not to say it wasn't true. It was true. It felt very real because that maintenance man make it so obvious that he wanted to get some money out of me. So I'm not gonna say that, though he never said it. Okay. So remember how you said you had a problem with one of your doors in the room,
Right.
closed or whatever, the lock? I guess the lock was broken on the door.
Right.
My main door, the main door at the Airbnb I was in, for some reason the key wouldn't come out, right? And
that's what happened to me when I tried to forcefully pull the key, and the whole lock just came out.
Yeah.
Again, he's a prime suspect, or not suspect, but the type of victim that Afridamus would love to be like, oh, hit me up behind the scenes. We'll talk more about your Tanzania trip. Let's see if you come to the Gambia and check out what we got up in the Gambia. That's all he has to do, and hopefully people will not be fooled. I've done my part. I've gotten ahead of Afridamus. I don't give a fuck if he's upset or not. I could care less. I'm pretty sure he's going to stick to his script and try to play dumb, act like he didn't see no videos of his ass, which I have about 3 or so of him. And like I said, he really was coming for us for many, many years, a couple of years worth of degrading women, talking about the laziness of men, saying that we weren't up to par, saying that we weren't, you guys weren't real men, and you guys weren't real warrior types. You guys were, basic human at best, and that you have nothing to offer as far as building anywhere. I mean, he said a whole slew of stuff, and he allowed many other Africans and Pan-Africans and Americans who are haters of themselves to also include in the mockery and talking about how they really have disdain for us. And now he thinks that he can just turn this all around by simply giving a story about supposedly something happening in the Gambia, and supposedly people didn't recognize him as being a Gambian, and he was treated as if he was a Black American. Again, trying to trauma bond to those who need to have validation from somebody or appeasement from somebody. Get your head right if you have to do that. Go to a therapist if you have to do that. But for the ones that don't want to be scammed, again, I gave you the information in my last few videos as well. I hope that I don't have to come back to talk about Afridamus, but if I see a whole slew of people falling under his spell, maybe I will do another one, but hopefully I won't have to, because hopefully this will be more than enough to make y'all understand. If you withhold giving him investment for a time, he'll go back to how he was. He'll go right back to how he was, because he'll be wanting those donations. So he'll go right back to bashing and talking shit. So withhold your money and let him become who he really is, which is a bitch ass nigga. Okay. So with that being said, thank you all for appearing. If you have not yet, please do me a favor by liking the video, subscribe to my channel, and share the video. That would be great, because the more that people know and understand how the making of the scammers, how they come to be, maybe we can start seeing stuff before they happen. And again, not giving people the luxury of thinking that we're going to build wealth for them off of our brawl while we delete our accounts and we lessen our options. For what? For them? No, don't do it. Please like and share the video, and bless up.